Hello, and welcome to Nature and Science for Kids. I'm your host, Moosejaw Matt. At the end of the last episode, I gave a hint about the upcoming one, which is now this one. I gave a one-word hint, marching. It helps us... Wait a minute. What are you doing? We're not ready for you all yet. No! Here they come! Ah! I think this is the only safe place. Do you know who's out there? It's an army of ants. While I'm in here, let me tell you what I've learned about them. Army ants isn't just one type of ant. It's a general term that can mean any of about 200 species of ants. Kind of like when we say there are clouds in the sky, there can be different types of clouds. Light clouds, dark clouds, wispy clouds, stormy clouds. Ants are known as army ants if they are aggressive. Army ants are aggressive, but what does that mean? Well, here in the United States, when we see a typical black ant, we see it as going out looking for food, but it returns back to its colony. Perhaps it has a piece of bread from your picnic, a cracker crumb, or even a tiny potato chip. Army ants look for food, but more intentionally. These hunting parties are called raids, and they're not just coming to get some crumbs from a picnic. They don't just stroll around looking for leftover picnic food, they are hunting. They are going after whatever is foolish enough to stay around. Army ants keep moving. They are more like a living organism than a bunch of individuals. They flow like a river through the jungle, hunting their food in these raids. Something that is hard to understand is how they work together without a leader directing them. Army ants work together as if they have one mind collectively. They also live sacrificially, not considering their own life as valuable unless they use it for the good of the whole colony. An example of this could be seen in how they work together to build bridges. When they come to an area that is too wide for them to cross, or perhaps there's water, some of them begin to link together to form a living bridge of ants. The other ants then walk on them and cross the gap. The ants don't come to the gap and wait for someone else to fill it in. They see the need and start to form the bridge. Army ants also don't have nests. They have two phases. Nomadic phase, which is when they go out hunting, raiding, looking for new hunting grounds, and a stationary phase. When they are in stationary phase, they are stationary, which means they are in one spot for a while. But instead of building a complex nesting community, they create a bivouac. A bivouac sounds funny. It's a temporary camp without cover or shelter. The ants work together to create their own covering, their own shelter. And guess who gets to stay nice and snug in the middle of their own shelter? The queen. There are 4 types of ants found in their colony: workers, soldiers, males, and queens. Worker ants are often blind, so that means they follow scent trails. Their main job is to work at whatever needs to be done. Likely they are some of the ones building a bridge, if it needs to be built. Soldier ants are larger than the worker ants, and guess what they do? They guard the colony. They have large mandibles, which are pinchers, and a strong bite. They can also help carry heavier prey to the colony. Male ants are born with wings, so they can fly to find another queen. Once they meet, they multiply the ant family together. And, of course, the colony has a queen, but only one, whose main role is to populate the colony with new ants. an amazing 3 to 4 million every month. So you do the math. That's a lot of ants. So the queen gets pampered. If it's time to bivouac, she's the one with the best treatment.
Time for your spa, darling.
Once a colony of army ants gets to a certain size, they somehow instinctively know it's time to say goodbye. The colony begins to split into two rather than one large colony. This is called colony fission. What's interesting about this is that once the new bivouacs are formed, the two new colonies no longer communicate with each other.
It's not you, it's me.
I want to be more like army ants. Not that I want to leave the people I know and love, but I want to live for others sacrificially. So I'd like you to think of something good you can do for someone else and do it. I've recently started writing postcards to others and mailing them. It's simple, but it's a way I can think of someone else and send them a personal handwritten note to make them feel good. Also, it's been a while, so it's time for a refresher. If you haven't seen our website, check out moosejawmatt.com. On there, you can find an online store with our t-shirt featuring the Nature and Science for Kids logo. Perhaps you want to buy a t-shirt for Christmas,
Merry Christmas!
a birthday, or just because you like to collect t-shirts. Now you know where to get one. You can also support the podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Look for a link in the episode notes to find out more, or go to patreon.com and search for Nature and Science for Kids. I'm Moosejaw Matt. Until next time, keep exploring your world.